Okay, I think now it's recording. Now, good afternoon. I want to first thank you guys for this opportunity that we have to be together and look at some of these challenges
Afternoon.
we face during the education. uh, I know a lot of things have been you've discussed yourself among yourself, and I will not
Yeah.
maybe go into much detail in terms of the arrangement because I know Joyce has the information and he has shared with you. From the whatever you are given to be taking as a distant learning courses, one is environmental literacy, business continuity, there's governance, the principal management, security audit, and research project. Research project, that one, if you are to do it, we'll do it as an individual level. So meaning that we are going to be handling the 5 units with you. What I'll do, because now time might not be enough for this, how many months do you have? So that maybe we see how we can. Maybe somebody can. How many months do you have? Yes, you cannot talk if your nini is mute. Wacha nikutolee basi.
Mhm. Yeah, not even sure.
Don't worry. Welcome to online. You are talking and you're not getting you. Okay. How much much time do you have?
Yeah.
Derutu?
You're going for 1 hour.
I know. I'm saying for
1 hour
not 1 hour. I'm saying how much time do you have in terms of
before exam. I think we're having cut on March,
March?
mid-March.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the exam. So hoping that they're going to be setting up. So okay, I'll just see what I'll do. I'll try by mid-March. We shall have done almost 70% of all the this unit we have. So what I'll do, the one that we cannot have a physical class like this. I can record the class and you listen
Yeah.
to them so that at least we also move very fast. So today I wanted just to look at environmental literacy, and before that, I'll just give a little bit introduction into what we'll be looking at in
Okay.
this topic. And when we talk about environmental literacy, one thing that should come into our mind is we are going to be at least be enlightened about environment, and we say that sometimes you look at things that are happening around you, that is maybe in the natural world and the environment where you are living, and sometimes you just wonder if all that you have are making some sense. And we are experiencing a lot of experience a lot of breakdown in terms of climate. uh, Director, you can mute your mouth. I mute you. Mute. Okay. So what I was saying, that we are experiencing climate breakdown, rapid loss of plant and animals, and water and soil pollution. There's increase of amount of traffic on the roads, which are associated with something to do with noise and also congestion, that also result into the pollution of air, and also amount of plastic that we have around are a little bit more too much, so meaning that our environment is not safe. So we have to think a little bit critically about environment. And when you talk about now environment literacy, it's very important first to understand what we term as environment education. And I just want to talk about a little bit about environment education that will lead us into what we call the environment literacy. So when we talk about environment education, we are just talking about a process that aims at developing a world population that is aware of the concern about the total environment and its associated problem that has to attribute to some attitude, motivation, knowledge, commitment, and skill. And also we are looking at how they work, people work individually or in a collective way toward the solution of the current problem that we have in preventing new problem that has come as degradation of environment. And when you talk about that, one thing that should come into your mind is what we call the declaration that happened in Georgia, USA, in that was 1977, and that declaration was called Tbilisi Declaration of 1977. And yes, the key things from what I'm just trying to define as what environmental education. We are talking about it involve first what you call attitude. What is your attitude toward environment? Okay, I do appreciate that the environment should be clean, environment should be fair to all of us. What is your motivation to ensure that the environment we live in, environment that is around us, is very conducive, not only for you and even for others in the community, others in the society, and others that will come in future. And also environment education is aiming at developing a knowledge around the environment, the knowledge base, the knowledge. Are you aware that there's something that if we do to our environment can result into it not helping us or it interfering with us? Like right now we are dealing with what we call the climate change, and the climate change will be referring to it a little bit more time, is a result of people did not take us, we did not take care of our environment, and now we are struggling to survive. And that's why there must be a commitment. So when you talk about environment education, there must be a commitment that comes first from individual. You must be committed that my environment will be clean. For example, let me give an example of if you are sorry, my video was off, I didn't know that. Wacha niweke ndio uone nikiendelea. For example, if you are uh, walking around the street and then you bought some sweet, do we just throw them anyhowly? Okay, if you throw them out anyhowly, do they pollute the environment? You have drank a bottle of water, you just throw it there, because ikibebwa itaenda kwa mtaro, and then if there are many of them, it will, mtaro will have flooding in the city, and when you have flooding, it will mean that we will have now the problem we are talking about, congestion in our road, because now there's part of the road which has been spoiled because we have spoiled our environment by making water not drawing, so there's a flooding. Okay, and that also has to come into the commitment. And then apart from commitment, this declaration also talked about the skill. And when talk about the skill, is now what is happening right now. We are trying to educate you about the environment. Yes, some of you might be now be in the security industry, and then you are wondering, hawa watu si wanifundishe tu about criminology, crime prevention, environment ya nini? Si tena tunaenda conserve environment, but we are teaching you because now you should also be aware, because the time now the environment is not safe. There's part of the security that we always not take care of. Security is not about the physical security. It's also about environmental security, about food security. You talk about things to do with disasters, meaning that now we'll have to deal with disaster as security professional, simply because we did not take care of our environment. So that's why it's very important for us to get the skill that now I'm giving you about the environment. So what we are going to learn and what we are going to be doing this topic is not about just passing exam. Yes, you will pass exam, that's not a problem. But think beyond passing exam. Can you take care of your environment? Can you plant tree? Me personally, as I'm talking to you, I've planted almost 1,000 trees, and I'm still continuing In the next few weeks, I will be planting about another 60 also trees, because now I'm trying also to do something I can do as individual first, to preserve the environment, and then once each and every one of us do it as individual, that will mean that now cooperative, as a corporate society, we're able to do much and able to do more on our environment. Uh, when we talked about again education, environment education, we are just aiming to work toward a solution of environment, toward getting a solution to a problem of the environment. And we have a number of problems. I've mentioned a number of them. And we are saying that environment education is what promote now what you call environment literacy, what now we are now doing. So through environment education, we promote environment literacy. Ask yourself, are you literate when it comes to environment? Okay? Are you literate when it comes to preserving environment so that others can enjoy apart from you? So we are saying that when we learn about environment education, is what we are trying to promote is what we call the environment literacy. So what do we mean by environment literacy? When you talk about your environment literate person, what do you mean? We are saying that you are somebody who both individually and together with others make informed decision concerning the environment, meaning that you are willing to act on this decision to improve well-being of others, well-being of society, well-being of even the community around. So we are saying that there's a willingness to get to make a decision, to take action on the environment, and that's what if you do, we call that you are environment literate. So we say that now the environment literate mean that there must be a knowledge of the environment. There must be what you call disposition. You must have maybe position yourself in a place ready to act, ready to take action toward the improving of the environment. And also, we are talking about competitiveness. You should be having that skill to improve the environment where you are. And we say that now you are environmentally responsible in your behavior. You take a behavior that will improve environment. And you have mentioned a number of them. For example, how do you dispose your waste? That's one of the area where in a developed country like Kenya, we don't take note of. If you dispose our waste in a bad way, meaning that we will pollute our environment. When you pollute our environment during the raining season, meaning that there will be flood. And when there's flood, it will mean that now we'll have congestion on the on the road. And then also, some of us might be involved where we are manufacturing, we are in the company where they're manufacturing things. Like now, the problem that we had for during the COVID, there was rumors, and it could be true, that uh, the uh, the purpose why the COVID came, why it was manufactured by the people who did it, was to try to balance what problem we have as a result of pollution of environment, the climate change. Because currently we are talking about 8.5 billion of people, and this 8.5 billion of people, they want to survive, they want to eat. If today you wake up and you find that there's no bread in the shop, if that happened for 2 consecutive weeks, that means that now you live and start striking. If you are told that there's no fuel, people will be mad. People want the goods and services, mostly the product they need to be produced. So the company has to work hard. They have to pollute more environment. They have to pollute air, as they have to run a number of machines. They have to remove the waste from the industry, throw them into the lake or into the sea, so that they replace it, they clean it, so that the process can go, so the population can be fed. So as a result of that, the high population we have contribute to the environment issues that we have around. And maybe somebody said that the COVID was meant to reduce the population, because there was a suggestion that if we can be 4 billion people in the whole one, that means that now we can be comfortable in our environment. There's no pressure for industry. There's no pressure in terms of transportation. But because now we are 8.5 billion, somebody thought of idea of reducing the population. But as you say that, is it the best way to do it? There's a way we can do it. We can protect our environment. We can be responsible. And through that, you'll find that now we can live in a clean environment. So by the end of the day, it starts with us. And that's why I say the knowledge is very important, and being a responsible environment is very important. So we are saying with the environmental literacy, we should be able to make the decision and act upon them. Meaning that you should make decision that aiming at social equity. Meaning that socially we should also consider others. Okay, because if you do things without caring about others, let's say you are passing next to a slum, you don't care even when you throw those bottles of water. After all, when there's flooding, you are living in a posh place, in a place where there's no flooding. So socially you are not responsible. You are not considering others. Also, you should also have what you call environmental integrity. It should be uh, have a responsibility that now you want to see the environment which is enjoyable. It's not only where you are living, even to others. If you are driving the big car, and if there's option you can use something that cannot pollute environment, go for it. And then we also talk about the economic prosperity. We are going to talk about something called ecology. And ecology is talking about the organism and its physical environment. And also we are going to talk about ecosystem, that talking about all organism and their physical environment. And that means that now for us to be economically stable, or we prosper economically, you should also have environment that is friendly, environment that is clean, environment that is comfortable for us to enjoy. And that we say the road to environment literacy is not so easy, and we are going to try. And one of the first steps that we are starting is getting the skill. So I went through your handout, the one you are given, and I will try to as much as possible to remain guided by this handout, as I will be borrowing some of the information here and there. And in the environment, what I have been trying, in the handout, what I've been trying to bring into your attention is the introduction part of it. And the introduction, we are looking at the introduction to environment management, where we are looking at how do we manage our environment. Then we'll also be looking at the concept of environment management. How do you understand that concept? We also be looking at ecology and ecosystem. And I say ecology is the organism and the physical environment. Ecosystem is the all organism. We consider all organism and their physical environment. And then we are looking at what are some of the ways we can manage our resources. We talk about sustainability of our resources. How can we use our resources in a better way that we have everybody benefit? Do you waste water? Do you just leave water just to land because you have too much of it? Then some of them will not have water. I was in another place in Machakos, and I realized because of the drought, even the donkeys that are being used to transport water, they could not go a number of trips, simply because there's no enough grass, and also there's no enough water. So imagine if you don't use available water properly, it will mean that when there's drought, we'll suffer, not only financially, we'll also suffer in terms of other animals that depend on us for that water. So we have to look at sustainable use of the resources we have. Then also we look at environment protection and economic activity. We are looking at how to protect our environment. What are some of the economic activity that we can use so that we can preserve our environment? So we are going to look at those activities, and we are going to advise ourselves that we need to be prudent and also do something toward our environment. Also, we are going to look at environmental conflict. There have been conflict in the environment. Like sometimes you are told plant trees. and that place also we need houses. So there's conflict. You want to plant trees, yes, but that's the same place you want to farm. So should we farm? Should we plant a tree? So there's conflict. There's always conflict. So we are going to look at some of the environmental conflict we talk about. Somebody want to have many cows, but it does have enough space for grazing, meaning that the available grass will have to be used by the cow even to the time that the grass is not there, but they still try to feed the many animals in there. And we're going to look at what are some of the methods. Like now, if it is cattle rearing, do you go for grade cows which are productive and there are few, or do you go for traditional cows that are many, but now you need to have a big chunk of land to take care of them? Then we are also going to look at what we call the environmental planning and policy option. We're going to look at option because some of you might end up maybe being in the committee where we have to look at now what are the options we can use to protect our environment. So those are going to inform some of the subtopics we are going to talk about. And the module, as you have been told, that is helped us to improve the communication, making the ideas and that result from the field that are available in practitioner from other backgrounds. So meaning that now it's not only environmentalists that supposed to go through this. You might be from other background, but now you also have to know about environment. It's not about others, all about all of us, because we are in the same ecosystem. So the objective of this course is for you to understand the concept of environment management, you to understand the ecology and ecosystem, to understand the sustainable use of resources, and to understand environmental protection and economic activity, to understand environmental conflict, which I've talked about, and also to understand how you can plan and the policy of option of the environment. So what I'm looking at this particular time, that by the end of this unit we able to be not able to have the knowledge and skill that will enable us to protect, to pass our exam, but also you'll start living in different way when it comes to your environment. There's one promise that I always made myself. I've always tried, even if I've eaten mango or banana, I always tried even to carry it rather than throwing on the road or throwing anywhere. Meaning that I've been environmentally sensitive. Okay? And by the end of this unit, you will be able to also be able to make a decision that you live in a certain way. Okay? How do you use fuel? Okay? I remember over the weekend I was alone with my children. My wife was not there. And my boy was wondering when I was making my ugali. I decided that the water that was used for making ugali, on top of it, uh, I was warming tea because after ugali we wanted to take tea. So I was using the same heat that is warming the water to eat that tea. And the reason why I was doing that, maybe not only to save the fuel, because again the fuel, the gas, and all that is expensive, but also I was think that if I use less fuel, it will mean that somebody else also will have opportunity to have enough fuel, because we've been having the prices of gases going up. Why? Because the high demand. Okay. But if you can be using the little we have in an economical way, will mean that the prices of gas will be low and everybody will get what is enough for them. If you use charcoal properly, I know I'm not maybe looking at it in terms of business mind. It will mean that you not need 3 sack of charcoal, but you need one, and that will mean that now will not uh, do away with a lot of trees, because now the more demand of charcoal, the more trees will be down, and the more trees are down, the less rain will have as a result of the catchment area interfere with, or the water table interfere with. So it means that now it starts with you. It starts you as individual. Okay. Those things that I was talking about, social equity, I talk about environmental integrity, I talk about the need of economical prosperity. And we're talking about you need to have to be knowledgeable about it. You need to be responsible about it. You need to have a good attitude, just the way the declaration, Georgia Declaration said. We should have a motivation to make sure that you work toward improving the environment. You should have the commitment and should have skill that you're having. So we are saying in short that this course basically is nothing as more than just enlightening us, giving us skill, and encouraging us that we need to be responsible toward our environment. So what I'm going to do, because that was just introductory part of it, I've recorded that the class, which I also will share with the people who miss and the people that might be joining us. And I will be looking at something on the concept on the environment. I think I can do that in the course of the week before Sunday, so that you can have it. So that will mean that maybe I was thinking that we can have three sessions in a week. So given that we have started one late in Wednesday, I was thinking that you can do Wednesday, you can do Monday, you can do also Sunday. So that means that on Sunday we can look at something on business continuity, and then I can also record something on cooperative governance introduction that you can watch before that, so that on Monday we'll continue that corporate governance, and then what mean maybe Monday let's continue corporate governance because I record it. Then next week look at something on principal management. Then next Sunday we look at audit. Then in between I might be giving you some recorded version, so that also you catch up, so that by the end of by the mid-March we shall have covered 75% of what you have, so that before you have your exam we shall cover all this. And then I will also give you some sample questions that you can deal with and revise. I think having introduced that, I can say that maybe my submission for today. Maybe you can react, you can maybe discuss what else we can do to improve or to help you ready for the exam that will be coming. Thank you. So I've opened the floor for discussion. You could not see my camera on because I was recording the class. So my camera was used in the other program that is recording. So the recorded class you'll be able to see my face. So Bakari usishindwe, nilikuwa naona unatoka toka unasema kwani mimi ndio sioni mwalimu, wacha nitoke nirudi nione kama nitamuona. But that was the problem. Okay, any reaction? Maybe you start with Derito. What can you comment on this our introduction? Do you think something that will help you? Wacha you are not wacha unmute, you are not nini. Hebu toa nini unmute, then you talk. Toa hiyo kitu iko kwa mic. Okay.
Mute. Iko sawa?
Sasa ongea.
Iko sawa? I was suggesting. Hello?
Yes, I'm getting you.
I was suggesting, since we have 1 hour session, we can divide it by 2. At least we tackle two subjects in a day. 30 minutes, if possible.
No, I think that might not be practically, but don't worry if I will get my own time, because I know the is your time. What we cannot record, I can record, and then I give you. In fact,
you can record. Okay.
Even better. So zingine tutakuwa nayo face to face, zingine I will send you record.
Okay.
I think that will work.
Okay.
And
it will work.
It's very easy for you to be able to watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
But have you enjoyed the class?
It's nice. It's good.
Okay. It's It's okay. Online learning pia ni sawa. Usiogope.
Ni muhimu. Ni muhimu.
KSJ was not organized. They could have done for you this, but at least you have thought outside the box and see that how you can get it. You know, they're not giving you your money, but it's a good way to go, and this is the future. It will be online, okay? As in our institution, in the Brand Institute, we also have online. So next time when you have a student, recommend them wakuje hapa. And right now we are
online.
Pivot registered, okay? Which is not in KSJ. And
okay.
Enjoy a good quality program here, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Joyce, you want to go?
Joyce, you want to go?
No, not really.
Joyce, you are not talking.
Yes, you are not talking.
I don't have much to say. Just say thank you, and as we continue learning, we will get to know more and more. What we only need to know are the skills. Mtihani tutapita, but we need to get the real thing. Ni hivyo tu.
Okay, thank you very much for that, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Bakari. Toa mic yako. Kiligi hiyo kitu ya mic, uongee. Uoni hiyo kitu ya mic? Una hiyo kitu inakaa kama mic, click it and then tutakusikia. Iko hapo chini. The first one before hii video. Hii video si uliweka vizuri. Hata hii nyingine tunaweza toa. Kama iko na X, hiyo ka line hatuwezi kusikia. Kama umetoa tutakusikia. Okay.
Mwanisikia sasa?
Sasa tunakusikia vizuri. Endelea. What is your submission?
Wow. Sawa. Sasa in fact I was proposing
umepotea tukupati?
Because today is the beginning, but if possible we can begin this class from 7:30. Unanisikia?
Yes.
Unanisikia sasa?
Nakusikia.
Nasema hivi. Naonelea tuanze 7:30 to 9:30 ndio tuweze kukava subjects.
Maybe we can. 9:30 might be a little bit too much for me because most of the time I will have in town, except now the one that I will have on Sunday. So why don't you try if you can do 15 minutes to 9? I think that will be good time. And I know how to do it. I will make sure that you cover everything. Don't worry. Mimi hiyo ndio kazi yangu.
Okay.
Si wakati nilikuja parliament hiyo ndio nilikuwa nakulia. Tunakumbuka vile mimi nakulia tu kufundisha. Nikakula hapo, nikakula fruit, nikakula vitu nyingi, nikakaa kwa hiyo kiti ya Queen Elizabeth, nikatembezwa. Juu ya hiyo. Sasa mimi najua vile naweza weka in such a way by the end of the year you cover all of it. So maybe you can try to push it up.
Sasa mwalimu kuna maswali hapa mbele kidogo.
Okay, sema.
Inasema question 1.
In that handout.
Yeah, it's in it is in the handout, page 11.
Okay. Inasema aje?
Discuss 5 concepts of environmental management. 5 concepts
like
of environmental management.
Like now, we've not.
Page 11.
I've seen that we've not now started on the concept, but that's what we are going to do next. But we are able to define those concepts which are there, and don't worry. So those are questions. So by the time we shall have finished this, you can try those questions, and I can look away. Maybe I can also mark them. You can try and send to me, and I get you, because we don't want you also to copy it from the notes there. So by the time that I've finished, you'll be able to define what is environmental management, what are the concept, and what are the category which make natural goods and services have value. So those are the questions that now you'll be trying. When you go to page 12, you'll also have unit 2. You'll also have question. I think after every question, every unit, yes, like page 17, you define ecosystem, which partly are defined, but we'll define it more. Explain the concept of ecology. They discuss food chain and energy, and those are some of the questions that we might be getting in your paper. Okay, and apart from that, I will also come out with some questions that you'll be able to do. Okay. Yeah, so what we are going to do, and I've said that I'm going to give you a class that might be pre-recorded so that you'll get it. We try to go very fast. You'll be discussing the concept of environmental management. When we talk about, we discuss about the concept. We want to know the background, okay? We want to detail about the environmental management. What is that, this environmental management? Meaning, we want to define it, and we want to also to see what are things like I started talking about in my introduction about Georgia declaration. There's other declaration that was made. Also, even this one was in 1971. Okay, and we are going to look at them, and that will help us to get into the background where we go to talk about maybe what is the human being, because you say when you talk about environmental management, the human is in the center. Okay. You cannot manage environment without human factor, okay? Because it's the same human factor that destroy the same environment, okay? So we'll able to discuss that, and we're able to now to deal that question. So what we are doing today was just about the introduction, okay? So I'm going to hand over the chapter 1 as we continue chapter 2 like that, okay? So we are going to cover all that, okay? I hope Bakari, kama ulipotea, lakini I think I've explained. Any other concern before maybe we call it a day?
Yeah.
So how many apart from, you say Victor is the one who didn't come in, is there any other guys coming in, or will be 4 of you?
There are some that will be joining. Some that will be joining soon.
Okay,
Gladys will be joining.
I think what I've done, I've recorded the class.
Gladys will be joining.
Okay, I've recorded the class, so there's no problem. Even whatever they miss, they will be able to listen. But tell them to join so that we can continue together. So that we can also have the interaction, the questions, and all that. Okay.
Okay.
Then I think we can call it a day unless somebody
yes.
Let somebody ask a question. You can call it a day.